referee then Charlie Roth, age 50. Refereed around the Cincinnati and Pittsburgh area for a long number of years. Just look at this. The face of George Foreman, and for that matter of Ron Lyle, each speaking for itself. Crossroads fight for each fighter. If Foreman is to come back and get another shot at the crown, he must win this fight, and it would help to win it impressively. As for Lyle, well, he couldn't beat Ali, he couldn't beat Quarry. If he's to continue, he'll be 34 years of age shortly. Foreman was just 27. He's got to win. A wild, almost amateurish right as Lyle came charging out. Foreman in the red trunks, Lyle in the white. Lagging his right leg behind him in the manner that Frazier did against Ali in the last two fights between those two. The effect of that is really to cut off the ring. Lyle is not a bad boxer, though he has a tendency to let the hand stay too low. So far as you can see, fighters feeling each other out. Lyle showing foot movement. George talking, lagging the back leg, but not yet connecting with a stiff left jab. He tried to get first one in, didn't get it through. The second got in. I must say, Kenny, George appears to be in much better condition than in that abortive thing in Toronto last May against the 5 fighters.
That's very true. He looks very good. He's using a very good jab. Very stiff, very
Lyle got in a good left. George's face went back. Lyle has never been afraid of anybody. He doesn't know the meaning of the word fear. You know the Lyle story. 7.5 years in Colorado State Prison. Learned to fight there. And as I told you earlier, fought Ali here last May, and Ali scored an 11th round TKO. A good right by Lyle. A good right by Lyle, and he's got Foreman in trouble. He's got him in trouble. George staggering off the ropes, and Lyle all over him. A surprising trend of events. George looking over here to Gil Clancy, sitting right next to me for instructions. You see George in trouble. A late flurry by Lyle, staggering George, who comes wobbling really back toward his corner. We're not breaking for a commercial. The round, not only Ron Lyle, but the punishment and the damage. Let's look at it in slow motion, Kenny.
Okay, here he goes, a very good right hand. Very good right hand by Lyle there. He set him up good with a jab, but he got a little excited at the end and couldn't really take care of him. As I said before, Howard, it shows that Lyle has no fear of Foreman, none at all.
No fear in Ron Lyle at all. Good punching power in either hand. Nothing wrong with Ron Lyle's left. As I said at the very top of the telecast, if Ron Lyle can do any one thing, he can punch. But I don't see any of the old Foreman confidence. The guy who knocked you out in the second round, Kenny. Where is it?
I feel he has the confidence. I feel that this round he must come out fighting and take over, be very dominant.
The voice of Kenny Norton at ringside with yours truly.
If he isn't dominant, pardon me, Howard, if he isn't dominant this round, then Lyle will get very confident and run away.
Lyle right at him, but again with a wild swing. George trying to move, bouncing on his toes. the first time George got in 2 good short left jabs, and that's what he must do. Well, Lyle with a good left. George fighting back now.
Howard, as you can see, Lyle is giving Foreman no respect, and he's pressing the action now.
That could be a mistake, Kenny.
It could be
because George is fighting back now.
He's fighting back, but Lyle's very aggressive there, and he's catching most of the punches with his glove.
See that right come around and land on Формan. Формan in the red trunks, Lyle in the white. And the advisors are yelling to Формan, keep those hands up. Now Lyle is hurt. Now Lyle is hurt. Quickly, Формan landed a left and a right and another left, and Lyle's in trouble. He's against the ropes trying to cover. Now let's see if George has learned what to do with an opponent against the ropes. Certain it is, he didn't know what to do in Zaire. Look at that left of Forman's get in there. And it's a different Lyle now. He's a little shaky. The leg's just a little rubbery. Формan is a tremendous puncher. No question about that. Ken Norton can attest to that. I told you we'd have a slugfest, and that's what we've got.
Very good counter right hand by Lyle there. Very good.
Two active rounds. 2 very active rounds, and the crowd loving it. You heard Kenny say he came back with a good counter right. Lyle did. We'll be back. I want to check the timekeeper here. The official timekeeper is John Worth. George, will you check this? Because by my clock, that round was only 2 minutes. Well, everything happens in fights. We'll find out about it. Now, this fight is being scored on the 5-point must system. Mandatory 8 count. In Nevada, uniquely, they also allow for a standing 8 count, which is what you see in amateur boxing in the discretion of the referee. The fight is scored by 3 judges. The referee has no voice in the scoring. I am advised that our clock was wrong, that the round indeed went 3 minutes. There'll be no saving by the bell. Fight is, by the way, using 8-ounce gloves. New York and California require 10-ounce gloves. 8-ounce gloves, less padding, greater damage from the blows. More punishment, more knockdowns likely.
Howard, if you notice, Ron Lyle's over right hand is working very well on Forman's left hand. His left hand is down, and Ron's going right over with an overhand right.
By the way, Ken Norton unofficially scored, of course, the first round for Lyle, the second round for George Форман. I tell you, Kenny, Lyle must be careful. You're right about the use of the right. There it was again, over Forman's left. But Forman's jab is beginning to get to Lyle's head, and Forman's power is so punishing that he can end the fight at any time.
That's very true, but he can't afford to let Формan really get off. He's got to be more aggressive and kind of force the action. If he gets Формan punching room and weight and utilizes power, then this is all in Forman's favor.
Agreed. Lyle in the corner against the ropes.
But then again, Howard, I think Lyle is playing possum here. He's trying to wait for Формan through a right hand.
Lyle just threw a good right hand, Kenny. Gil Clancy screaming, hook to the body, George. Hook to the body. George just tried to hook to the body in response to Clancy's exhortations, but he didn't get through Lyle's guard.
Howard Foreman is pawing, looking for the one big shot there, and Lyle's trying to counter.
Less than 20 seconds left in this, the third round. Foreman the red trunks, Lyle the white. Lyle with a very good counter right. The right has been Lyle's best weapon against Foreman thus far in the fight. Approaching the end of the round.
State Farm agent Jerry Black talks about life insurance.
Money's important. It's important to me like it is to everyone else. However, there's a great deal of satisfaction derived from being a State Farm agent that has nothing to do with money. It has to do with helping your fellow person, helping a family, developing a life insurance plan which will satisfy their needs not only today, but 30 years from now.
State Farm is there.
See these balloons? They explode very easily. And we're going to drive a loaded 76 Ford pickup next to this wall of balloons over these bone-jarring 4x4s. One torch goes on the wheel and one to the door. Watch the suspension take a real pounding as the torch explodes the balloons, but the torch attached to the door doesn't. That's because Ford's exclusive twin I-beam suspension is designed to take punishment and not deliver jolts to the body. 93 out of 100 Ford trucks built since '63 are still on the job.
We're back for the start of round 4 in what has been a very active fight thus far. The first round, Lyle staggered Foreman. Had him rubbery leg. Foreman retreating. The second round, George coming back fighting. George now looking over to Gil Clancy right next to me. Getting instructions from Gil. If Gil is anything, he's a teacher. Master's degree in recreation. He's been teaching all his life. Whether boxers, kids playing in the playground, or a good right by Lyle. Kenny, you're right. He's been using that right beautifully over Foreman's left.
But it's very effective. And Howard, we just found out for sure that the second round was only 2 minutes long.
That's correct. Chet Forty, our producer, retimed the second round in our truck. Lyle all over him. Lyle has Foreman in trouble. Foreman is down. It started with a right, then a left. Foreman looking over here. Lyle to the neutral corner. His mandatory 8 count. Foreman trying to hold together. Trying to keep his senses. Lyle putting on a tremendous demonstration. Now trying to move in on Foreman and end it. Remember how invincible George Foreman looked through 40 bouts. The man who knocked out Frazier in the second round to win the title. The man who knocked out Ken Norton, the man next to me in Caracas, Venezuela, in the second round. What's happened to him? Well, in the 15 months since Zaire, he's been relatively inactive, except for that charade in Toronto against the frightful Bod. Now Foreman fighting back. Oh, Foreman is in trouble. Lyle caught him with a good left. Now George, now George struck back. Now George fought back with a magnificent right. George fought back. Lyle let himself open for that.
He got overly aggressive there, and he was very excited, and Foreman was throwing hard desperation punches.
A minute to go in a wild fight, just as Lyle apparently had George in trouble. George with that punching power that we talked about in prior fights. Lyle is now ready to go. Against the ropes. About 40 seconds left in the round. Lyle covering up against the ropes. His handler screaming to Foreman, hit him in the body. George at the head. Lyle is now wide open. He is... Lyle trying to swing back. This isn't artistic, but it is slugging the way the public wants it. Lyle now trying to fight back. Only 10 seconds left in the round. Now Foreman was staggered. Foreman was staggered by a Lyle left. Foreman goes down. Foreman goes down. Lyle fights back. Foreman, there's no saving by the bell, but Foreman is up. Foreman is up. What a fight, Kenny.
Well, this is the slugger's fest here. Both men are leaving themselves wide open.
As Kenny said, both fighters leave themselves wide open. Call it over the slow-mo, Kenny.
Here we go right now. Both fighters leaving themselves wide open. They're both relying totally on power here. George is using his strength. He was hurt. He comes back and he staggers Lyle. Foreman goes down here with a very good Lyle punch. They're both working very hard, and they're both utilizing their power and forgetting boxing.
As I said, I would hardly call this an artistic affair, but at the very beginning, we told you we looked for a slugfest. And most people, remembering George's absence of stamina at Zaire, had the feeling if Lyle could get past the 5th round, his chances would materially improve.
That's very true, and Lyle has been known to come on in the later rounds. He's very good, his stamina is very good, his punching power is good. And so now the question is if George can recover and continue on here in the later rounds.
Kenny Norton at ringside with Howard Cosell. 5th round action underway.
Howard, from here on in, I think it's going to be a match of power and a match of stamina. I think Lyle has the mental edge right here.
The two men both seem wary already, and who could blame them the way they've been punching and with the damage they've each been rendering. A good left by Lyle. Foreman holding on.
Here we go, Howard.
Staggering all over the ring. Lyle against the ropes, throwing the left uppercut. Foreman in trouble again. No bounce in the legs.
Foreman's in bad trouble now, and Lyle's trying to execute with the hook. And Foreman's hands are down, if you notice, which is very good for Lyle's hook and overhand right.
Foreman looking over here at Clancy for advice, and yet he doesn't even seem to be with it. Kenny made the point that George's hands are down, and so they are. George is falling forward over Lyle, trying to hit back.
This is really a heavyweight fight, Howard. It's total guts here and power.
George got a series of left jabs in there, then a right.
And they both exchange right hands, Howard, right there.
Good right uppercut by Lyle. Foreman again in trouble. You see him falling forward onto Lyle. Now it's Lyle. Now it's Lyle. What an incredible fight. Utterly without boxing skills. Just punching away. Each fighter, in turn, leaving himself open.
Both men are really working here. Foreman's using his power, and Lyle's waiting just a little too long. They're both fighting. Foreman. Lyle's got to come back with
Now
him
it's
down.
Lyle. Down to the canvas. Foreman punching him again and again and again when it looked like George was done. This time it may be over. This time it may be over.
Lyle's not going to make it, Howard. He's not going to make it.
A knockout in the 5th round by George Foreman when it seemed Lyle had command of this ever